The day Juli Mango denied her own son on a live video was the day I knew something had gone very wrong. My name is Nuru. I grew up in the same village as Juli in northern Kenya. We were not close friends, but our families knew each other well. In a small village, everyone knows everyone. Juli came from a humble family of goat farmers. There was her father, her mother, her brother Maku, her sister Zain, and Juli herself. Every morning before sunrise, they would wake up and tend to their goats. They carried water, gathered hay, and walked long distances under the hot sun. It was hard work. The days were long and often felt the same. Maku hated that life. One day, his best friend introduced him to YouTube. From that moment, Maku became fascinated. Whenever he finished his chores, he watched videos. He watched people from countries he had never heard of. He watched cities with giant buildings. He watched people speaking strange languages and eating foods he had never seen before. Soon, he had an idea. If people can show me their lives, he said one day, maybe I can show them ours. So he started a YouTube channel. He filmed the goats. He filmed village life. He filmed his family. To his surprise, people loved it. His channel grew quickly. Subscribers sent donations. Soon, YouTube itself began paying him. Before long, Maku was making more money than anyone in our village had ever imagined. Then he made another decision. He would travel the world. His subscribers followed every step of his journey. Meanwhile, Juli remained at home tending goats. She often spoke about feeling stuck. She did not know what she wanted from life. Then she became involved with a young man named Shida. Everyone knew Shida. He was handsome, he was charming, and he was irresponsible. He never stayed with one girl for very long. Many people warned Juli. She did not listen. A few months later, she became pregnant. When Shida heard the news, he disappeared. Just like that. Juli was heartbroken. Her parents were ashamed and worried. To avoid village gossip, they sent her to stay with an aunt in another village until the baby was born. Around that same time, Juli's sister Zain married a longtime boyfriend. The wedding was beautiful. People danced all night, but Juli could not attend because of her pregnancy. While all this was happening, Maku continued traveling. He visited country after country. Every month he sent money home. His parents repaired their house. They bought more animals. For the first time in their lives, they were comfortable. Then Maku heard about Juli. He was disappointed. He knew exactly what kind of man Shida was, so he flew home. Not long after, Juli gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Kamari. She loved her son deeply, but being a single mother was not easy. One evening, Maku suggested something unusual. He asked Juli if she would allow Zain to raise Kamari for a while. At first, everyone was shocked, but Zain surprised us all. Without hesitation, she agreed. She promised to love Kamari as her own until Juli was ready. That act of kindness changed everything. Juli could work again. She could think about her future. Still, she was unhappy. One day, Maku noticed. "You remind me of myself before YouTube," he told her. Juli laughed. "I know nothing about YouTube. You can learn." And so he taught her. He showed her how to film videos, how to edit, how to speak to an audience, how to tell stories. Slowly, Juli started her own channel. Her first trip was to China, then Malaysia, then other countries across Asia. Later, she traveled through Europe. People loved watching her. She was curious. She was respectful. She asked questions. She was humble. Subscribers donated money because they wanted to support her adventures. Her channel grew larger every month. Then she traveled to Jamaica. That was where everything began to change. Juli loved Jamaica. She loved the beaches. She loved the food. She loved the music. She loved the Rastafarian culture. At first, everything seemed normal. Then one day, a Rastafarian man greeted her. "Greetings, Empress." Juli smiled. Nobody had ever called her that before. The next day, another man called her empress, then another, then another. One morning, while shopping at Coronation Market in Kingston, a vendor called out to her, "Beautiful, come look at these fruits." Juli smiled again. She bought far more fruit than she needed. Soon, compliments followed her everywhere. Beautiful, empress, queen, lovely. At first it was harmless, but slowly those words began to change her. She started calling herself an empress. She started talking about how beautiful she was. She joked that only rich men deserved to date a woman like her. She laughed when she said it, but deep down she meant it. The strange thing was that the men she became interested in showed very little interest in her. This confused her. She could not understand why. After several months, she left Jamaica and returned to Europe. There she met a struggling YouTuber named Perth. They started dating almost immediately. Their relationship seemed perfect online, but things were not as they appeared. Juli introduced Perth to her audience. Every live stream brought him thousands of subscribers. At first, Perth felt uncomfortable. Then he realized how much he was benefiting. Soon they began creating drama. One day they pretended to argue. The next day they pretended to make up. Then they announced an engagement, then a wedding, then a pregnancy, then a miscarriage. Everything brought views. Everything brought money. People in our village watched in disbelief. Something felt wrong. The stories never added up. Subscribers started asking questions. Many began wondering whether she was telling the truth. The questions grew louder. Then came the day I will never forget. Juli went live. Thousands watched. Instead of answering honestly, she became angry. She denied her son. She insulted her subscribers. She called them stupid. She called them poor. She bragged about being rich. She said she did not need any of them. I sat there staring at my screen. I could hardly believe what I was hearing. This was not the Juli we knew. The humble goat farmer's daughter was gone. In her place stood someone arrogant and proud. The people who once supported her began leaving. Subscribers disappeared. Donations stopped. Views dropped. Month after month, her channel shrank. Then Perth left. His channel had become successful. He no longer needed Juli. The partnership was over. The marriage story ended. The relationship ended. And Juli was left alone. Eventually, she returned to our village in Kenya. She still lived comfortably because Maku continued helping her, but her YouTube career never recovered. One evening, years later, I saw Juli sitting beneath an acacia tree watching the goats. For a long time, she said nothing. Then she quietly spoke. "It all started in Jamaica." I looked at her. She smiled sadly. "The first time someone called me Empress, I believed it." She shook her head. "The problem wasn't the word. The problem was what I became after I believed it." The wind moved softly through the grass. For the first time in years, Juli sounded like herself again. She finally understood. There is nothing wrong with confidence. There is nothing wrong with success. There is nothing wrong with being proud of your achievements. But the moment you begin believing you are better than others, your fall has already begun. Juli had forgotten the people who lifted her. She had forgotten her family. She had forgotten her subscribers. She had forgotten where she came from. And in doing so, she lost the very thing that made people love her. To this day, people in our village still tell Juli's story. Not because she traveled the world, not because she became famous, but because her journey reminds us of a lesson that is older than any village and older than any nation. Moral of the story: the tree that grows the tallest must never forget its roots. Success can open many doors, but pride can close them all. The people who help you rise should never be treated as if they are beneath you. Humility keeps what arrogance destroys.